or there's the easy way. Not only is it incredibly easy, it's super fast when you utilize technology. Some of these apps and pieces of software that you can buy that can save you hours and hours and hours of time, literally like start around $37. So is it worth it to drop $37 to save time? There's a quote that I absolutely love. I don't know who said it, but it says that poor people are always willing to spend their time to save money. Successful people are always willing to spend their money to save time. And that is absolutely the truth. I have people come to my house and mow the lawn and clean our house and clean the gutters, wash the windows, and do all kinds of stuff that I can't do because I just can't afford the time to do it. So I'm always willing to spend that money to save myself time. Number two, targeting is difficult because the marketplace is saturated. If you haven't been paying attention up to this point, I encourage you to close Facebook, get off your phone, or whatever else it is you're doing, because this is where you're going to want to take notes and get really excited about targeting. Okay, this is going to go pretty quickly, but if you're good, if you're on your best behavior, I'll go ahead and cut this part of the webinar out, and I'll make it available to you guys so that you can re-watch this part because it's super killer. Okay, here we go. I got 15 steps here to create all of the targeted audiences you could ever want on Facebook. Okay, if you have a new Facebook ads account, or if you just want to start over with your existing account, step number one is you're going to run a page post engagement ad with broad interest. And what I mean by broad interest is I'm in the United States, so I'm using my store as an example here. I'm just going to target the United States as a country, 18 to 65, just leaving the age alone, and I'm going to target yoga. So I was using a product that was geared towards yoga enthusiasts. So if you see here, yoga, interest, fitness, and wellness, that is about as broad as it could possibly get. That interest alone is probably in the tens of millions of people. And if you click underneath that and narrow further, all I did was narrow this by one extra layer, and I added in yoga pants. So what this says is everyone that meets this criteria, they have to like both yoga and yoga pants. If they don't like both, they will not be in this audience. So by layering this and narrowing this audience further, you can see on the top right here that the potential audience is 1.2 million people. Okay, that's a great start for a page post engagement ad. Step number two, now that we ran some traffic and we ran some ads to our page post, what we want to do is create a 90-day custom audience from post engagers. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right now. Okay, so inside of your ads manager, what you're going to do is click on your asset library, and you'll be taken to a page that looks something similar to this. If you don't have any audiences created yet, all of those will be blank. I have tons of them already created, so you see a whole big list of them. What you're going to do is click on the Create Audience button. Okay, Asset Audiences, and now we're in our asset library. We're going to click on Custom Audience, and we're going to click Engagement. Facebook page. We're going to select the page that we were running ads to, and we're going to click on People who engage with any post or ad in the past 90 days. And there's a reason why I always use 90 days when given the opportunity. I'll tell you why in a second. So now I'm just going to name this audience so that I remember it. So we're going to put our page name in here. For me, it's Selling on Shopify. And then I'm going to type in Post Engagers. That way, when I go to select this for ads, for targeting, I can easily identify what it is. Okay. And the reason why I always do 90 days is because most of the times you can go up to 180 days on some of these lookalike and custom audiences. It's just too much. You don't want to go too short because it's going to recycle that audience too fast. But 90 days gives you a good balance of most recent people, but it also refreshes every 90 days. So the people that haven't engaged with you in the past 90 days, they're not your best audience anyways, right? So you want them to get kind of kicked off of this list, and you want this list to always be updating and refreshing and getting better and better over time. That's the whole point of this strategy, okay? That's step number two. Step number three, now that we created that 90-day custom audience, okay, now we have a new custom audience, we can now create 5 1% lookalike audiences from this new custom audience. So if you don't know this already, the way that you create a lookalike audience is to start with a source. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like right now. Now that we're back in our asset library, this is in the Facebook Ads Manager, we're going to once again click on Create Audience, but this time we're going to click Lookalike Audience. And our source is going to be that custom audience we just created, that Selling on Shopify page, post engagers. We'll select the country that we want to target. I'm going to do the United Kingdom right now because I already set one up for the United States. Clicking on advanced options, we're going to select 5 audiences, and we're going to drag this down to be 1% each. Okay, you can see there that that creates, let's go back here, that creates 5 separate lookalike audiences that are 1% each. Okay, the ones that are in that 0 to 1 range, that's going to be the most similar to your target audience that you want. The further away you get from that number, you're going to get more reach, but they're going to be less targeted. So that's why I drag them to be 1% each, and I create 5. You can see here that the estimated reach for each one of these is 405,000. There's absolutely no overlap in any of those audiences. So we just created 5 brand new audiences that we can target with our ads in this country. Okay, create audience, and you'll see in a second here, it's gonna create all these audiences and start to populate. Pretty cool. Okay, so we ran a PPE ad with broad interest. We created a 90-day custom audience off of the people that engaged with that ad. Okay, so anybody that's engaged with your ads recently, more specifically the ones that you just ran with that in step 1. Now that we did both step 1 and step 2, we can create 5 1% lookalike audiences from new custom audience that we just showed. Now step 4 is we're going to run conversion ads this time. Instead of just running a page post engagement ads, we're going to run conversion ads, and we're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to optimize for view content. Okay, here's what that looks like. When you go into the ads manager and you click to create an ad, you'll be met with a page that looks like this. Now originally what we were doing was an engagement ad in that middle column. To the right you'll see conversions. So that's what we're going to select this time. And once we get into the ad setup, you'll see that the conversion, you can click website or messenger, and if you click in there, you'll be given the options of view content or add to cart or purchase. We're going to start with view content, and the reason for that is we're going to start this process of seasoning our pixels. Okay, just stick with me here, and again, I'm going to make this available to you. I know I talk fast, I'm going through this fast, but at the end of this, you're going to have 15 steps that you can follow to a T and create all the custom audiences you could ever want for your own page or for your own marketing efforts. Okay, now that we have run some more conversion ads, guess what? We have some data that's built up on that view content pixel, and now we get to create 5 more 1% lookalike audiences based off the view content pixel. Because when we're running ads now, Facebook is optimizing for the view content pixel. So anybody that touches those ads, they get pixeled, and therefore Facebook has enough data to create more audiences based off the people that touched your ads. Okay, so once again, we're creating a lookalike audience, and you can see the source. Originally, the first time I did this, we selected that Selling on Shopify, or whatever your page name is, post engagers. This time, we're actually selecting the pixel, the view content pixel, and I'm choosing the United States. I selected advanced options, and I dragged the little bars down to 1% each. So now we have 5 more audiences that are 2 million people each that I can target. And they're all mine because they're based off the people that touched my view content pixel, right? Does that make sense? Awesome. Step number 6, we're going to step this up through this process of seasoning our pixel from the view content to add to cart. So if you think about it, when people go to your website, it kind of follows the same natural progression. They view your content, they'll add it to your cart, and then the next will be purchase. So we're going to optimize in that order, from view content to add to cart to purchase. So in this step, we're optimizing for the add to cart pixel. Once again, we're doing that same thing. When we set up a new ad, we're going to run a conversion ad. And this time, when we get to select which pixel, we're going to select the add to cart pixel. That way, when we continue to run ads, people will be pixeled with our add to cart pixel. Okay. And then once we have enough data ran through this add to cart pixel, we once again get to create 5 more 1% lookalike audiences from the add to cart pixel. Again, you can see all we're doing here is the exact same process, except we're changing the source. So that's all you need to create a lookalike audience is a source audience. And once you get enough data to this source audience, you'll get to create a lookalike audience. The great thing is that these pixels are constantly updating and getting better and better and better over time, and therefore so are the lookalike audiences, right? Because they're constantly refreshing. Okay, step number 8, if you haven't guessed already, it's run conversion ads again, and this time we're optimizing for the purchase pixel. Okay, this is a logical progression. This is an excellent way that Facebook has set this up to make it very easy and a very simplified process for us to mature our pixel over time. Okay, we're just running more ads, and if you haven't guessed already, this is kind of a system that's developing here. We get to create 5 more 1% lookalike audiences based on the purchase pixel as our source. And once again, we're going to make this available for you so you guys can watch this, slow it down, and follow this step by step. And even when I get done here, you guys can even take a screen capture or take a screenshot of all the steps that we can quickly reference them later. So now, same exact process, nothing else changes except the source is now the purchase pixel. Okay. Now we're going to create 90-day custom audiences from website traffic. The cool thing about this is we get to any page that we send to. So any product page that you send to, any landing page, anytime you send people from Facebook to any page, you can take that URL and you can create a custom audiences. So long as you have that pixel, the Facebook pixel, installed on your website, like on your Shopify store, which obviously you should, you'll get to create a custom audience based on that URL. So here's what that looks like. Once again, in our asset library, in audiences, we're going to click custom audience, and this time, website traffic. Now, let me just pause this here because I want to make sure it's clear that we never want to select anyone who visits your website. We definitely have no use for a custom audience for anyone that visits your website, because if you have this pixel anywhere, it's going to include everyone, and that's really not the best use. So we're going to select specific web pages. That way we get to dictate which people go onto this custom audience. And remember, you can create pretty much an unlimited number of custom audiences. There is a set number, but you'll never exceed it, I'm sure. So we're going to select people visit specific web pages. Oops, start that video. And we're going to put in the URL of the page that we want to include. And again, we're going to set this to 90 days. And obviously, we always want to include past web traffic. Otherwise, it'll just start adding people from this day forward. So we want to include the people that have already visited the page. And as long as you had your pixel on there, it will include those people. And then we're going to give it a name so that we recognize what it is. And this way, when we go to target these people with ads, we can easily identify this custom audience. So I'm just going to give it a name so I know what it is. And there you go. Next step, we're going to create 5 1% lookalike audiences from custom audiences. So now the source just changes. So instead of using the pixel as a source, we're going to use that new custom audience. So think about that. If you only ran 100 people to your website, to a landing page, to one of your product pages, you can now take that custom audience that of all those people that visited, and now you can create a lookalike audience from people that are just like those 100 people. Think about that. You're going to get similar people from the United States or whatever country you want to use for the location here. You're going to create millions of people. You can see I created 5 more lookalike audiences from this one custom audience, from one URL. This is just one URL. You can literally do this over and over with every single product page that you have, right? Anytime you send traffic to any page, you can create a custom audience and then create 5 lookalike audiences from it. You can see here that we got 2 million, 2 million, 2 million. There's over 10 million new people that we can target, right? Obviously, because we have so many, I'm only using the 1% and 2%. I mean, I create 3, 4, and 5s anyways, but I typically only use the 1 and 2% because it's really all that you'll ever need. Okay, I hope you guys are starting to see a pattern emerge here. Step number 12, we're going to create 5 more 1% lookalike audiences from your fan page likes. So by this point, you should have ran enough traffic, you should have enough engagement, and you should have enough people that have already liked your fan page that now we can create a custom audience based on the people that liked your fan page. How cool is that? And here's how it looks. We're going to go right back into this create lookalike audience. Now the source, if you click in that little source box, you'll be able to locate your fan page, and that's how you create a custom audience from fan page likes. So now you can have 100, you can have 1,000 people that liked your fan page, and now you get to target 10 million people that are very similar to those people. How cool is that? Is anybody getting this? Are you sticking with me? I know I'm talking super fast, but this is pretty amazing. Stick with me because we only got a couple more steps here. Step number 13, create a 90-day custom audience from fan page visits, okay? So this time, when we create a custom audience, we're gonna select our page, and then we're gonna select anyone who visited your page. The reason why we do this so far down in the process is because it's gonna take a lot of people who actually come to your fan page and to get pixeled and will go on this audience. It's not people that just happen to see your ad in the news feed. That's gonna be a lot more people than people that actually say, what's this about? Let me click on this fan page and go check out their fan page, right? It seems like when you're on your own fan page that everyone's coming to your fan page, but really the majority of those people are actually just seeing it in their news feed and they're never actually visiting your fan page. So we're gonna do this much later in the process to create this fan page lookalike audience. If you haven't noticed, we're keeping track here, we have a ton of custom audiences already. Step number 14, now we get to create 5 more 1% lookalike audiences from this new custom audiences. So now that we created that in step 13, we created that custom audience from fan page visits, we get to use that as a source to create 5 more lookalike audiences. Do you see a pattern emerging here? It's insane. Add up how many custom audiences now we get to use and can target. Do you even need to use broad interest or precise interest targeting anymore? No, you don't. Remember, step 1, this was all started with one broad interest that was very, very broad, about 1.2 million people, right? It all started from there, and we just kind of continued to do the same process over and over again. What, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, at least 38 new custom audiences that are all yours, that will refresh over time, that will get better and better over time. Step 15, repeat. Rinse and repeat with step 1 with new broad interest. You can do this process over and over and over again, right? The beauty of this whole system is it's methodical, right? It's a system. It's something that you can do over and over and over again. So, BS Econ myth number 2, targeting is difficult because the marketplace is saturated. That is totally busted because targeting is way easier than you think. The problem is you're not following a blueprint. Most people are just willy-nilly throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. You need to properly season your pixel for your ads to perform better and better over time. So think about it like this. If you're just starting out and you're spending money, even if you didn't get the results you want, which obviously is sales, right? Think of it as investment. If you continue to follow a blueprint over and over and over again, it gets better and better over time. You're making investments in your Facebook pixels that will get better over time as your targeting gets better, as you start to get more data on those pixels, as Facebook starts to better understand what type of people to target with your lookalike audiences. Is anybody excited about that? Killer. I see killer. I see yes. I see cool. What if you don't get very much engagement in the beginning? Like I just said, stick with it. Keep doing it. It will get better. Chris, James, what do you think about that 15-step blueprint for creating all the custom audiences you could ever want?
Yeah, very nice. Powerful stuff. Huge, mate. Friggin' huge.
Awesome. So that alone is worth the price of admission, but stick around because I got even more stuff. BS Econ myth number 3, Facebook ads are complicated, expensive, and you need a big budget to make any money. I don't know if you noticed, but during that process, the ad that we set up with 1.2 million that we were targeting the yoga niche, it was a $5 budget. You can literally start that entire process for just $5 per ad. How cool is that? Obviously, if you can start with 10, 20 bucks, you have the budget to do so, yeah, do that. I usually start off my ads at $25 because when you start out too big, it's kind of like your budget gets chewed up kind of pretty fast. So I like to start up with a bunch of ad sets at $25 and optimize from there. So you already saw that Facebook ads are not that complicated when you know how to target, because that's really the hardest part. The ads manager is pretty intuitive. There's not a lot to it. It's not a lot of decisions to make. It's the targeting that comes into play that makes all the difference. And if you have a small budget, you can start with just $5. So once again, that myth is busted as well. Facebook ads are the easiest part of the equation. Honestly, you just probably lack a system. Once again, people ask me all the time, like, how do you run Facebook ads? I say, go to the ads manager. That's my only advice, because it's so much simpler than you think. The ads are the easy part. What to do with people, where you send them, like what happens after Facebook, that's the hard part. Figuring out the funnel, figuring out what products are converting, and just kind of sticking with it. The ads, that's easy. So now let's jump into the 7 critical components missing from Shopify that are killing your business. You may not even be aware of this. Maybe you already do. Let's jump back into the evolution of e-commerce. I talked about my journey in this space. Let's talk about, from a technical standpoint, how do we even get here? Why are we all selling on Shopify? And it started for us at Teespring. This came up in my newsfeed recently. This was a Facebook memory. Chris and I crushing it on Teespring 3 years ago, and you can see there we had almost 600 shirts sold. That was so cool, so much fun, very exciting. That was all there was at the time. The best things about Teespring was you could quickly launch new shirts. You didn't really need any website. You had no hosting to worry about, no fulfillment on the back end. You didn't have to worry about customer service at all. There were no returns to deal with. All you had to do was run ads and make money. That was it. It was a cash flipping business. We wanted to spend $1 on Facebook to have Teespring send us 3. That was it. The biggest drawbacks, of course, which is why we all kind of evolved away from Teespring, was that they were time sales. We had to sell a lot. You can see the countdown timer on the right there. There was only 9 hours left in this campaign. We typically did them from 3 days to 7 days, usually 3 days or 5 days. But you had to sell a lot of shirts really fast in order to make any money. You had absolutely no control because it wasn't your website. You had to sell on Teespring's platform. And if you wanted anything changed on these landing pages, you had to request them. We had to send, Teespring an email and say, can you please get the Facebook pixel implemented. When we first started, they didn't have the Facebook pixel, which is insane. We couldn't get the email addresses of our customers. If we wanted any style options, like if we wanted to add a hoodie to this product, we had to email and say, can you please add a hoodie to this product? I mean, how stupid is that? It's insane. There was a limited number of products. Basically, it was all T-shirts and hoodies. And there was no abandoned carts or email automation. So it was like burning cash. Hopefully, we were getting a lot more back than we spent. Ultimately, this is one of the reasons why, Chris, you probably remember this, when we were in London and it was a Teespring Fabrili event, they wanted me to take this part out of my slides, that it's just not a sustainable business model. It just isn't. It's a cash flowing business. You can always make money doing it. But you know what you have at the end of the day? You don't have shit. You have nothing. You stop working, this stops working. That's not a business. So we all ended up moving over to Shopify because we realized this wasn't a sustainable business model, and clearly there had to be a better way. So some of the pros is that you get everything you need to start to sell whatever you want. You don't have to be limited to just T-shirts and hoodies. Most of the important elements are built in already with the security, the speed, and the hosting. Most people take this for granted. Those that have never built a website or had to worry about getting hosting or securing their site or anything like that, all that's taken care of for you. That's literally what you pay for with your very low monthly fee for Shopify. They've got awesome integrations already built in. There's the backend admin for managing products and categories, tags, and customers, and all the automated emails. Everything's built in, and it's relatively inexpensive. And plus, there's a thriving community. If you haven't noticed, Shopify continues to grow. There's multiple Facebook groups. There's lots of education and videos out there to provide you with everything you need to build a thriving business. So there are downsides to Shopify, and number one, in my opinion, you need a freaking app for everything. That's originally why I started my company, Commersoft, 2 years ago, is I realized that people were being nickel and dimed to death on Shopify, because if you look at this one product page alone, there's so many apps that have made this page look the way it is. At the very top, you can see the free shipping bar. That's an app. The send us a message messenger down at the bottom left, that's an app. Over to the right, we've got the McAfee Secure and the PayPal Verified. Those are both apps. The little countdown timer where it says hurry, sell in soon, that's an app. At the top, underneath the title, you see the 23 reviews. That was an app. Believe it or not, we had to actually have an app for that. It's like everything we wanted to do required an app, so that added up pretty quickly. The biggest thing is, and I'm going to get into this more in detail, is there's no standalone landing pages, right? And if you look at this page here, this is a typical Shopify product page. There is a ton of distraction, and this is just above the fold. You have navigation, you have a whole catalog of products, you have recommended products below this, and lots of things to distract you, right? There's multiple decisions to make, and the more decisions your customer has to buy, the less likely they are to do so. Ultimately results in lower conversions. These type of product pages, no matter how much traffic you send to them and how targeted your ads get, typically across the board will convert at 1 to 2%. If you really get good at this and you hone that shit in, it could be anywhere from 3, 4, 5% if you're lucky. And that's a very, very small select few people that can get to that level on Shopify, sending traffic to pages like this. They're missing the essential components that marketers need most to maximize sales and conversions. It's insane. I'm going to go over every one of those in a second. So a lot of people realize that, if I just start sending traffic to landing pages, they're going to convert a hell of a lot better than these product pages. And so they started building product landing pages on ClickFunnels. This is one that I made on WordPress using OptimizePress, and it's a nice looking page. The problem is, it has nothing to do with my Shopify store. So the pros of this, though, are that there's no navigation, which means a lot higher conversion. So number one, that's like critical. Like, you're not going to make anybody upsells if they're not buying in the first place, right? You get total control. This is on my domain. It's WordPress. It's OptimizePress. I can control absolutely everything I want about this. I can change the image. I can change the button color. I can change out the trust badges, the text, everything about this, the price. It's all in my control, and I can do it very quickly and easily. You do have the critical components marketers need most to maximize sales and conversions. I'm going to talk about those in a second. And you can create any type of page you want. See, you can't really do free plus shipping and opt-in pages and contest pages, all the pages that you really want to do on Shopify, because they just don't have that flexibility. Cons, in addition to what I just mentioned, is when you're doing it outside of Shopify with these standalone landing pages, there's no back-end automation fulfillment. That's one of the biggest drawbacks to ClickFunnels, is you got to kind of figure that shit out on your own, right? There's no inventory management. There's no way to add a bunch of products and control the inventory and have automated rules in the back end. That's the beauty of Shopify. No automated shipping rules, additional costs. It's like you're running a separate business, right? And there's little to no integrations for selling on third-party platforms like there is on Shopify. If you're selling on Shopify, you can quickly and easily also sell on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. Those are all built in and free to you to start using right away. You don't have that on third-party websites like WordPress and ClickFunnels. So how important are landing pages? Well, according to my buddy Tanner Larson, the author of the awesome e-commerce Evolve book and founder and CEO of Build Growth Scale, he says, and I quote from his book, "Implementing landing pages in my business always creates an instant 5 to 10% boost for my front-end conversion, much higher than the 1 to 2% conversion rate of standard product listing pages. I have some landing pages that have boosted my front-end conversion rates as high as 20%. In a nutshell, with a landing page, you'll spend less on advertising and get more customers and a higher ROI." There it is. Sums it up. If you want to stop spinning your wheels and you want to increase your conversions right on the front end, and you want to make more money, overall cart value, and increase your ROI, you've got to be spending your money on sending traffic to landing pages, not your Shopify product pages that convert like crap, right? And that's he and I, they're goofing off in Montreal. He also spoke at that event in Montreal last year. So which do you want? Do you want the 1 to 2% conversion rates from typical Shopify product pages? Or do you want 5+ conversion rates from landing pages? Well, the Captain Obvious answer is higher conversion rates, but there's a problem. You don't want to sacrifice all the advantages of owning and running your own Shopify business. And number two, Shopify doesn't even have standalone landing pages. So what are you left to do, right? You have to look for apps. Once again, we're back to this biggest problem with Shopify is you need an app for that, right? Do you have an app for that? So the cost to implement on Shopify with apps, landing pages, you got Funnel Builder, our original version was $29.95. That's actually obsolete. We don't even offer it anymore, but that's what it originally cost for version 1. There's Shogun, which is not standalone. They actually build these pages in your Shopify store with the navigation and everything. To me, that's more like a theme builder, not a standalone landing page. There's Hypervisual. There's a couple other apps that you can find on the Shopify Apps Marketplace, which I promise you are not very good. And then also GemPage. All three of these are not standalone, which means you can't kind of keep them outside of your Shopify store. And then there's ClickFunnels, which is not built for Shopify. That's $97 a month. So if you think about how much extra money you're going to have to spend every single month to implement this. It ranges from $29.95 a month to $97 a month just to add landing pages alone for your store. So the 7 critical components missing from Shopify that are killing your business. Number 1, standalone landing pages. This is the biggest, most critical piece missing from Shopify. Number 2, pre-purchase upsells. Let's look at the largest e-commerce seller in the world, and that's Amazon, and see how they handle their upsells and what they think about pre-purchase upsells. So this is a product page I was on recently, and you can see just how many pre-purchase upsells they actually show me. I haven't even really shown buyer intent other than just searching for a product, but you can see on the right-hand side here, they're already making me a 3-year accident protection plan. They're literally offering me insurance on a product that's $27, which is insane to me, right? Just below the product itself and above the fold, you can see frequently bought together. So they're trying to recommend products to get you to bundle to increase your average order value. This is even before you reach the checkout. So let's say we add to cart here without taking any of these. What happens next? We get another offer before we reach the checkout to add this ridiculous accident protection plan for about a third of the product price, which doesn't make any sense to me. So let's look at the cart. Once again, we're still not even in the checkout. This is just the cart. You can see no fewer than 4 more pre-purchase upsells. Number 1, they are making that offer for the warranty a third time in your view. Okay. Number 2, you get to apply for a credit card, right? They're making you a credit offer that we can make interest on the products that you buy. Number 3, once again, they're showing you the frequently bought together to try to get you to bundle your products. And then also down below, it says customers who shop for this also shop for this. So they're trying to do cross sells to sell you even more stuff before you reach the checkout. On Shopify, here's what it looks like. It's not nearly as robust or beautiful as Amazon does it. This is about the extent of it. These are recommended products in the cart. Okay, it doesn't look that great. Sometimes you'll get some apps that will pop up in the cart to get you to add more products to your cart. It's not quite ideal, but it's what's available currently on Shopify in the App Store. And once again, these all cost money. So let's take a look. Our Recommender app that allows you to recommend products in the cart is $9.95 a month. There's in-cart upsell that's $39 a month. There's product upsell that's almost $60 a month. Yet Recommadic, which is an unheard of $149 a month, which makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. I think they're excited by the fact that they have a machine learning algorithm built into their app, but you know what? So do we in a Recommender for $10 a month. So to implement pre-purchase upsells on Shopify, it's going to cost you an extra $10 to as much as $149 a month. So let's see where we are now. To implement landing pages, it's going to cost you an additional $29.95 to as much as $97 a month. And I know ClickFunnels can get a lot more expensive than that as well. Now we have to add pre-purchase upsells. We're going to add an additional $9.95 to $49 a month. These are prices that you can go find right on the Shopify Apps Marketplace right now. These are not made up numbers. This is what they cost. This is going to cost you an additional $480 to as much as $1,750 a year, right? Added cost to your business. Just to implement these things that Shopify should have already, but they're just missing, right? So number 1, standalone landing pages. We're missing pre-purchase upsells. We're also missing checkout bumps. So what are checkout bumps? Here on that, back to that landing page that I made on WordPress and OptimizePress, you can see that when they reach the cart, there's little checkboxes there that give the customer the opportunity to add additional items to their order. You'll see this outside of the in the e-com space and the info product space. You'll see this a lot online when you're buying products. In the cart, anytime you see a little checkbox to add something to your order, that's called a pre-cart bump or a checkout bump, right? So here's a ClickBank product where you can add 3 different checkout bumps to upgrade or to enhance your order, right? This is just kind of profit maximizers for the seller, and they work beautifully. Here's one from Russell Brunson, one of the smartest marketers that I know, making you a pre-purchase checkout bump right in the cart itself. You just check that box and you can have, whatever offer he's making in addition to the original offer very easily upsell you in the cart, right? So these are checkout bumps, and there's no way to do these on Shopify. To implement them in your e-commerce business, once again, you can use ClickFunnels. That's at least $97 a month. And again, it's not built for Shopify. There's Zaxa, which is what I was using in that. That costs you $97 a month. And again, it's not built for physical products. It's more for info products or digital products. You can have it custom built, which is insanely expensive. I know because I run a software company. It's starting at $5,000 to get something like that built. So how do you implement these on Shopify? You can't, unless you're willing to spend, an extra $5,000 on Shopify. Outside of Shopify, it's at least $97 a month. So to add this to your e-commerce business, we already have the landing page costing us as much as $97 a month. We already have to spend money to get these pre-purchase upsells, and now we have checkout bumps. We have to spend money to get these things that are missing. These are the most critical components that we need to maximize profit and conversions, right? We have to spend more money to get them, anywhere from $97 to as much as $5,000. Yeah, painful, exactly. It's excruciating. Total annual cost, now we're up to $1,644 to as much as $6,750. It's only getting worse, right? Number 4, post-purchase upsells. It's insane, right? One second.
It is insane, actually. Yep. Keep going.
Thank you for that. I'm just, my wife Amy's actually bringing me a beer right now, so how great is that? One second.
I could go for a beer, but it's 8 a.m. in the morning. Hold off.
I wouldn't put it past you, buddy. All right. Back at it. Post-purchase upsells. Now we got to add these. These are like the holy grail of e-commerce, right? We want to be able to upsell our customers after they've already purchased, right? Pre-purchase upsells, they haven't bought yet. You might piss people off. Might be turned off by the fact that you're already trying to upsell them. They work. Don't get me wrong. Post-purchase upsells, much better. Why? Because your customers already pulled out their credit card and spent money with you, right? So now they're in the buy-in mode. You've already broken down their defenses and overcome any objections they may have had. Now's the perfect opportunity to make another offer. Whoops, let's go back here. There you go, wrong button. So what are post-purchase upsells? Anybody on this webinar probably already knows. You see them all the time. Here's a really great looking one. Your order is not yet complete. Somebody had already purchased. Now on this page, they get the opportunity to upgrade their order. Instead of paying $9.97, they can have a single payment of $197 to upgrade their order, right? Here's another one from one of the smartest marketing companies on the planet, Glazer Kennedy. Dan Kennedy here making you an offer, a one-time offer, post-purchase, to upgrade your order for an additional $248.50, right after you've already purchased. So if you think about it, the smartest marketers on the planet are making you post-purchase upsells. You obviously should be doing them as well. Here's one on Shopify, on our Shopify store, using an app. Your order is not complete. Upgrade your order with this other product, right? They can add that to the order. So how do we implement those on Shopify or in our e-commerce business? There's the One Upsells app that we launched a long time ago with Ecomasoft. It's $29.95 a month. But again, they have to start out on your Shopify store in order to make those post-purchase upsells. There's the One-Click Upsell app that's $47 a month. You also have CardHook, which is an insane $300 a month. $300 a month for post-purchase upsells. And not only that, if you start doing really well with that app, you're going to get charged an additional $100 for each 50. Actually, they changed this right after my first webinar to $100,000. So they give you a little bit of a break there. If you make $100,000 with their app, they charge you an additional $100. That kind of crap just drives me crazy. I promise you, any app that I ever release, I will never, tax you for doing well with it. That's kind of the point, isn't it? So the price range to implement post-purchase upsells, $30 to as much as $300 a month. So let's look at where we're at. Now we had to add landing pages, pre-purchase upsells, checkout bumps, and now post-purchase upsells, right? We're adding this, it's just stacking up the cost here, $29.95 to as much as $300 a month. Now the total annual cost to implement these in our business are as much as $2,000 all the way up to $10,000 a year. $300 a month is insane. That's $3,600 extra a year that you're spending just to implement these, right? And it's only getting worse. Actually, we get a little bit of a reprieve here with downsells. It's kind of a lot like upsells. Any app that makes the ability to upsell your customers pretty much all make the ability to downsell as well. So Here's a downsell here. There's the original upsell where it's $29, and if they say no to this offer, which is just below the fold, you can see here that we've made them a downsell that says, how about an additional $10? So you may not have caught that, but let me go back. Oops. How we get there? I really jumped up. Oops. 1 second. Sorry. Wrong way. There we go. Your order's not complete. That's our upsell. $29. If they say no to that, we can make them a downsell and take an additional 10 off. That's called a downsell. And to implement these, again, we can use those same apps, so it's not going to cost us anything extra. We're still at the no additional cost. We're still at the $2,000 to $10,000 extra per year. This is per store. If you run another store, all these cost you extra per store, right? Number 6, custom checkouts. This is one of the biggest factors in all of e-commerce. If you look at anything digital marketers do, and I can promise you, they have complete control over their checkout pages. Why? Because this is the most critical point for capturing that revenue, right? For getting sales. And if you don't control that, you just have to deal with whatever you're using. Like Shopify is a 3-step checkout. It sucks. It's one of the biggest conversion killers on Shopify is that checkout page. So custom checkouts, here's a digital marketer page. Look at it, it's all on one page. You got a lot of information right on the page. You get your contact info, your billing details, your payment information. You got a couple items of information on the right-hand side for support. You got some really nice trust badges, all on one page. You better believe that if you're using this page, it is converting very well for you. For them, here's another one with Frank Kern and Ryan Dice. Very, very similar looking page. Again, obviously, this page works because they're using one that's very similar to the previous one. On Shopify, here's what we were able to create with our app. It's a great-looking ClickFunnels style checkout page, all on one page. To implement this on Shopify, though, once again, CardHook is the only one that allows you to do this to create actually custom checkouts. Our One Upsell app, it uses our own custom checkout, but it's not very customizable for the user. So this is why we developed something even better. CardHook, $300 a month, price range. Right now we have to add this if we're not already using that. Custom checkouts, $300 a month. Now we're up to $5,600 to as much as $13,950 a year. And finally, we reached number 7, split testing. So what about split testing? How easy is it to split test? Well, outside of Shopify, it's fairly easy. There's a couple websites that I use. One is Optimizely. You can see here that this is a graphic from their website that allows you to test whether your control or the variation of your control will outperform. And another one that I use is Visual Website Optimizer. This is the one that I use. They're both fairly inexpensive. But to implement these on Shopify, they actually don't have apps. Once you sign up for their service, you can actually add some code to your store and start split testing. But once again, think about it. If you're sending traffic to a product page, how easy is it to send and split that traffic to another page? Not very easy on Shopify. Optimize is going to cost you $17 a month. Visual Website Optimizer is $59 a month. Both of these are very viable options. But once again, we are adding up the cost to implement these 7 critical components missing from Shopify that we should already have. Anyways, it's insane that we're all using Shopify and yet we don't have these items. So our total annual cost to implement all these are as little as $5,800 to as much as $14,000 a year. How insane is that? Let me ask you a question. If I were to offer you a new single Shopify app that would solve all of these issues and give to you all 7 of these missing components, would you be interested?
Woohoo! I'm very interested, which is why I'm in the process of implementing this right now. Exciting stuff.
Let's see here. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Heck yes. Just take my money. Thank you. Ones. We're still on the ones. All right. Some people have been on Ricky's webinars, I think. Would you like to see it in action? Let me see that you're still paying attention. Give me a yes, or a heck yes, or a hell yes, or a oh yes, something. And I will take a sip while you do. Yes, yes. I like it. Yay, yes. Heck yes.
What beer are you drinking, by the way?
Right now, I think this is a local beer in North Carolina. It's called Catawba Brewing Company. It's the Mother Trucker Pale Ale.
Wow, nice. I'd like to try that.
Does it sound good at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. in the morning?
No, but I mean, in the evening, I would.
Awesome.
It's not a secret. I'm a very big beer drinker.
I'm a big fan of beer myself. So let me show it to you since you've waited so patiently for me to show it. Here we go. I'm going to play a video for you and show you exactly how this works. Here's a landing page I created with a product in my store using our Funnel Builder app. Here's how it works. User clicks on the yes, I need this in my life. I have only one variant, so it makes it really simple. If you have more than one variant, we have a variant block for that, you'll see. They come to the checkout, the custom checkout, which I can control. I can change everything about this. If I wanted to change out the language on here at all, I could do that. I can make the image smaller. I can rearrange anything about this, right? You can see after the information was added, it was just $5.95 for shipping, and that updated the total. We got credit card or PayPal, so you can use Stripe, PayPal, or NMI. So I'm going to check the PayPal checkout. So I'll go ahead and log in here to PayPal. And again, this is just on the front end. This is on the very first checkout. And immediately upon returning, we're met with an upsell. Awesome. Wait, your order's not complete. Here's a shirt. You can see there's a no thank you link down at the bottom. We have a nice variant block here. So if you have more than one style, you can see we have magic images that automatically appear. So you don't need to add a bunch of images. They'll just show up automatically for your customer. And for our sakes, let's just click the no thank you link so that we can see our downsell. Wait, how about an additional $10 off? Maybe you didn't like it at $29. Maybe you'll love it at $19. So awesome, yes. Since they get it a little bit cheaper, let's go ahead and select the product and upgrade our order. Here we go. Let's pick the color, the style, the size, quantity. Yes, upgrade my order. What you'll notice is this is one click, they just bought it. Next thing you know, they're on the second upsell, right? We're gonna make them another offer. And if they don't take this, you see the images will change just like they did previously, which is pretty awesome. And you'll notice it's pretty fast. I'm gonna click the no thank you link once again so I can show them the downsell link. And once again, we're taking an additional $10 off because that clearly worked the first time around. So let's see if maybe they'll take it at $10 off. And we'll add this to the cart. Is this one product? Yes, please upgrade my order. Come on, click it. Click it. There we go. And that's it. There you go. You can see that they got the hat, the shirt, and the necklace. They ended up spending $49.50. It immediately goes into my Shopify store automatically, immediately after that sale, imported from Funnel Builder. And also the automated emails that go out once the sale happens also happen. Can you go through that?
Guys, the key, you mentioned, just emphasize this, integrated with Shopify so that, with ClickFunnels, for example, you can set up a lot of this, but you have to, then how are you going to fulfill it? This is all your fulfillment, everything that you have in Shopify applies to this. It's fully integrated.
That's right. So you can see here, if we go back and just look at when this order was imported, like it happened immediately, okay? 5/21, okay, this is back in August, this is a couple months ago when we first launched this app. 5/21, and immediately, because I have Klaviyo implemented in my store, it happens exactly like a regular Shopify order. So because this gets imported into Shopify immediately, it's as if it happened on your store. Klaviyo doesn't know any different. If you look at the email that I got right after that, fast forward, it's also at 5/21. So immediately I got an order, confirmation order from my email from my store that gives them the details about the order. How awesome is that? So you get the best of both worlds. You get the landing pages, you get all of the 7 critical components missing from Shopify, right? Like the ClickFunnels style landing pages, but you also get the back end of Shopify. It's like a match made in heaven. This is as good as it gets right now.
Absolutely, guys. That's the key. That's what's been missing, the ability to integrate with Shopify. Now it's here.
Introducing Funnel Builder 2.0 Shopify app. Now you're going to have the ability to create custom landing pages just like this, right? Remember, that's a $360 annual value per store, by the way. You're also going to have the ability to add pre-purchase upsells just like Amazon does. That's $120 a month or $120 annual value. You're going to have the ability to add checkout bumps, right? Just like you see here, this is a custom checkout page that actually was created with our Funnel Builder app. It's a really beautiful looking checkout bump. They can check the box and add that to their order. That's an $804 annual value. You're also going to get the ability to offer post-purchase one-click upsells, right? Just like this. Your order is not yet complete. That's a $360 annual value. You're also going to have the ability to add downsells. Once again, this is kind of included because any app that allows you to do upsells also allows you to do downsells. So very cool there that value is included. Custom checkouts, nothing better than having landing pages with custom checkouts, right? Here's a custom checkout that I created. This is a template that you can actually use right in the app. It's already available to you. All you have to do is swap it out with your own information. That's a $3,600 annual value. You can do split test. How about that? You can actually split test. When you build a funnel inside of Funnel Builder, you can actually split test your pages automatically, right? So you can see here on the right-hand side, it says 100%. If I were to add another page, it would change to 50%. So all the traffic with the same link would be automatically diverted between these two versions of the landing page so that you can see which one converts better. That's at the minimum, $204 annual value. You're also going to get access, once you get your hands on Funnel Builder, to our e-com training portal. So once inside our members area, we have all these training courses that are all e-com, right? Everything to do with e-com and nothing but e-com. That's a almost a $2,000 value because all these courses individually easily could sell for $19.97. So total value that you are getting, okay? This is not made up value. This is not arbitrary. This is not some price that we set. This is what it's going to cost you to get access to all this, $7,805. Think about it. If all this did was help you create one winning product funnel that made you an extra $500 a month, think about that. If it made you an extra $6,000 every year, would it be worth it? Yes? If all this did was help you sleep better at night knowing you're no longer throwing money down the drain. Yeah, absolutely. If all this did was help you sleep better at night knowing you're no longer throwing money down the drain on Facebook ads, sending traffic to low converting Shopify product pages, right? Would it be worth it?
Absolutely.
Charlie says yes for sure. If all this did was help you cancel or avoid all the monthly payments of the other apps, all those other apps and all those other software tools that you would need to do what Funnel Builder 2.0 does, would it be worth it?
Absolutely. 100%.
I appreciate that. So clearly,
no-brainer.
Why this is a good deal. So by now you can clearly see that if I were to offer you Funnel Builder 2.0 for a one-time payment of $2,997, it would be well worth it, right? Obviously, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make you the best offer you're ever going to see this year. It's not $2,997. It's not even half of that, right? It's not $1,499. You can get started right now for just $797 today. Hey, one time, just one time, no monthly payments. How cool is that? You'll own it. It's yours. You can use it.
Yeah. Seriously, guys. Yeah. I mean, no monthly payments. One time. It's on one. How many stores can you use it on?
Three stores.
3 stores for life.
Think about that. Go to ecommercesoft.com/FB2-Chris. Chris, if you have a second, please drop that in the chat box so they can easily just click on it. Don't have to type it.
Let me grab that. That's a good point. Give me a second. On Facebook. I'll just type it in.
Stick around, guys, because I'm going to answer all of your questions, and we have a couple bonuses for you.
This is ecommercesoft.com. I'll just type it in. I had it saved in a notepad.
What I did.
Okay.
Let me see what I can do with this.
Okay, here we go. I got it.
Got it?
Yep. Also posted in that's fine.
Okay, so for all the action takers, I got a couple bonuses for you guys. Number one, Chris has agreed to offer you his 20,000 product sales blueprint webinar. So, from what I understand, Chris has, yeah, you forgot the two.
Yeah, I had two products that, sorry, I did?
Yeah, in the link. It's ecommercesoft.com / why don't I have the link handy?
/FB2.
Yes. Yeah, that's in there. Let me type it in there.
I think that's right, FB2. You typed it. I'll let you type it.
There you go, guys. The link's in the chat. Click on that right there. You can go ahead and get started. And I'm going to answer some questions for you now. So for the action takers, for anybody that picks this up through Chris and James' link, you're going to get access to, you're going to get invited to Chris's webinar where he had actually 2 different products that did over 20,000 units sold. And he's going to show you and break that down for you step by step how he did it and how you can do it too. So that's going to be a private webinar. It's $1,000
Only
value.
for people who buy this thing. Yeah. I'm going to break down the 10 different scaling steps that I took. The webinar will be about an hour. That you can basically scale to huge numbers. I mean, I had 2 different products that did over 20,000 sales, and one of them is over 2016, 2017. Another one is back on my old Shopify store in 2015, and so it's this last 2.5 years. The same exact method continues to work today.
Awesome. So you're also going to get James Brown's Alternative Traffic Strategy Mastery webinar. That's also a $997 value. You're going to get that after you sign up. They'll send out an email to you guys and let you know and give you the link for that webinar. Think about it. If Chris shows you, like how to do massive amount of sales on one product, I'm presuming with Facebook ads, and then James is able to share with you alternative traffic strategies. How cool would that be, right? Coupled with these landing pages and full Shopify sales funnels. I mean, this is a formula for success that you can't pass up. For the first 25, okay, that take us up on this offer right now, I'm also going to include Custom Cat Shopify app 1-year trial. If you go get this from CustomCatShopifyApp.com, you'll see it's $297 for the year. I'm going to include it just for the first 25. So let me see very quickly before we move on. I'm going to answer all of your questions. I want to know who's in. Type in the chat box, question box. I want to see you say, I'm in. I'm in. I'm so excited. I'm in. Woohoo. We're going to get to all your questions in just a second.
Yeah, we got in. Frank is in.
Tamara's in. Sarah's in. Charlie's in.
Yep. We got a question. How fast is it the load time? Thomas says he's in.
We're in. So these pages are actually hosted on Amazon AWS, which is among the fastest servers in the world. They actually have your domain in all of the links, but they're super fast. The page builder is really fast. The page loads really fast, and that's something we've been really focusing on recently. So let's get on with the rest of the bonuses here and get on to your questions. So remember.
Guys, the fact that it's on Amazon, that's the key thing. You guys know, some people on this webinar on my course are not, but I talk about my course, how important it is to have speed. And on my store, we have, along with my team, we have worked really hard. So the fact that Matt has put it on Amazon is key. It'll drive conversions.
Yeah, they can't shut you down now because it's the good thing is, like ClickFunnels, you're sharing ClickFunnels links. These are your own links. Facebook ain't going to shut you down. I mean, they could shut you down, but somebody else getting shut down isn't going to shut down everyone else. That's the problem when you're sharing the same links. That's not the case with Funnel Builder. So I'm going to get to all your questions in a second. So remember, with Funnel Builder 2.0 Shopify app, you're going to fill the void of the 7 critical components missing from Shopify that are killing your business. Remember, you're getting landing pages. You're getting the pre-purchase upsells. You're getting the checkout bumps. The post-purchase upsells, the post-purchase downsells, the custom checkouts, the split testing ability, and you're going to get access to our e-com training portal. And for the action takers, again, you're going to get access to Chris's webinar that he breaks down how he sold 20,000 units on 2 different products, right? Step by step how he did that. You're also going to get access